Howdy. So, today I'm just going to be filming from the couch because I don't feel like getting up. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Um, it's been a long night. It's been a long series of nights, as you might have noticed if you watched the videos from the last clownfish hatch. Um, but yesterday I didn't get around to filming a video that I wrote notes for, starting with these here. And then I wrote this crap here. Can't really decide whether or not I'm going to make separate videos for them. I'm probably just going to talk about it all now. So, make my phone into a laptop. No, it's not really working, is it? Okay, I'll just hold the damn thing. Try not to get seasick. And if you're gonna spew into this. Alright. So I guess since I wrote this first, I'll start here. Evolution is racist. So's your face. It's an ongoing thing in my house where any random thing that is said can be responded to with "so's your face." So's your face. Anyway, so note number one: evolution is racist. Okay, now, for those of you who are just joining me, before I get into how racist evolution is, don't think you know anything if you disagree with me. Okay? To do so would be self-destructive on your part. Plain and simple. I'm starting to wonder whether or not I'm actually getting valid unsubscribers, or whether or not it's just a result of Russian hacking. But I got a thumbs down on my little joke video. Somebody didn't like my joke. You click thumbs down. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, people not liking videos. Oh, sorry. I just gave so little bit of a shit the thought escaped me right in the middle of the sentence. Okay. So the TV's paused at a very odd time. I'm not sure what the heck I was watching, but it's kind of like mid blur, and there's like some weird lights. Percula tank's blocked out. I haven't turned the lights on the Mai Tai maroon tank. But just wanted to say, if anybody who watches these videos and it's like, oh, who is this guy? He's boring. Why doesn't he get to his point? First of all, you're welcome for your life and for the air you breathe. That's a little hint on why you might want to listen to what I have to say. Just saying. But the fact of the matter is, even if you think that's just crazy talk, okay? And I understand that's perfectly reasonable to think that. I tried my best to think that. Unfortunately, I saw countless amounts of evidence to the contrary. And at this point, it would just be like obnoxious of me to be like, no, I didn't want to. You know, like it would be like the people who were going to unsubscribe because it didn't make a joke. It'd be the same type of useless bullshit. Oh no, he used the SH word that means poo, and I don't like it. Meh. Yeah, yeah, that's fucking useless too. Okay. Oh, another low flying plane. All right, but anyway, getting to the fact of the matter. Yes. Um, the fact of the matter is, whether you believe anything, you could be an atheist, okay, and you'd still benefit from joining me in my little science experiment of if I'm Jesus, then I should see the truth of all things. Okay? Because the fact of the matter is, as I was saying, the truth of all things is here on this channel. Free for anyone who wants to watch it and understand why the world is so fucked up and how to fix it. I don't have a compound. I I have a family that gives me bullshit on a regular basis. Eh, I don't want a church. I don't ask for donations. I am not, and this is interesting, atheists. And I have very important stuff to talk about. Okay, so just let me hop on the soapbox for a second. Okay, let me hop and then I'll get the fuck to what I was saying. Hop on soapbox, okay? Wife is texting me. Had to hop down off the soapbox. Okay. SWAT team is out. Okay, that's crazy. Hold on. The SWAT team is out. I'm filming. What the fuck? Okay, sorry about that. Hope you didn't get seasick again. Always make very good use of very cheap props on this channel, if you haven't noticed. The fuck was I saying? Now I'm worried. Now I'm wondering about the SWAT team being out because man, fucking Baton Rouge is going crazy, just like I kind of said it would be. No one wants to listen to Zathras. Poor Zathras. Okay. Yeah. 3 SWAT units and 4 SUVs. Okay. I'm gonna tell her. Send updates in small messages. Maybe I can read them out to y'all as I get them. Woohoo, breaking news. I know hashtag I will salute cops till the shooting student. Yeah, it's a bit long-winded. Case in point. I will salute cops till the shooting stops. Long-winded hashtag. It's a lot to type if you're, a pecker. But I think everyone should post one video about that. And if you got a pair, you see a cop, and especially right after some have died, I look dead ahead as they pass, saluting. That's just me. But like I said, black cop gets shot, their life doesn't matter. So fuck that. I don't understand that. Black Lives Matter, rejoicing in the death of black police officers. Very nice. Very, very telling. I'm going to get into that in a second. All right. So I had a soapbox and then I had a fact of the matter, right? If memory serves. God, I have not had enough coffee for this yet. I do unscripted videos. Fucking shitty notes is all I got. Yeah. If you see me looking around the house, it's because I got interesting shit to look at. Not some fucking room that's made to look like I live here. No. I live here, dude. There's the tape that my kids put on the wall, okay? Can't peel it off because it's peeling off the fucking wall when I try to take it off. I explained that in the video a long time ago. I guess I should mention it again since, why does he have tape stuck to his wall? Anyways. So, the soapbox. I'm not feeling very soapboxy anymore, so I can't really remember the soapbox. Shit. All right. But the fact of the matter, that's an easy one to remember because it's very important. The fact of the matter is, what I've been saying on this channel is proving correct. Just like I confidently said it would prove correct. And the reason why I said this is because my entire life I have had prophetic ability. My entire life I have had spiritual ability. And since the age of 15, I called myself an exorcist. Okay? That's, like a lot of people go into this, college kids and journalist type people and political type people want to investigate things. I went into this as an exorcist before I woke up. Okay? I went into 9/11 conspiracy and all that good stuff as an exorcist. I met George W. Bush as an exorcist. I wasn't like actively in the role of exorcist at the time. He was at my fucking high school, but I had that perception when I met him. I sensed directly the demon that was controlling him at the time. And what's interesting to me now about it is that it was behind him. It was on his back. As in, it wasn't something that he was aware of. Now, see when the camera went dark just then? I didn't move my hands. Not this hand. See? Giant thumb. Left hand is right there. Right hand at my side. Flopped. Right there. Okay? On the last Two Witness News, about an hour into it, you can see very, very obvious spirit energy because of what I was talking about. When I talk about certain things, I get in certain states of mind, and it distorts the, you know, space-time continuum. If I didn't do this crap, I wouldn't believe me to begin with. Okay? That's not the soapbox thing, but something along those lines. I know I'm going to fucking remember it in a second. All right. So, fact of the matter is, come with me on my little experiment here. Because among the things that I wouldn't, I wouldn't bother believing myself if it didn't prove true is that I've known how shit's gonna go, even decided how shit's gonna go, and it simply goes my way. Okay? And no way, I might be remembering the soapbox all of a sudden. Okay? Attention, atheists. Attention, any who would consider me anything resembling a would-be cult leader. Do you read the Bible? You see, cult leaders don't really seem to. Because in the Bible, it says, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. Yes? And this is very important, especially when it comes to understanding secret societies, our government, and the existence of cults. See, secretly, our government knows God exists. You understand that? Secretly, any legitimate government knows God exists. Because if you can collect enough data, you'll know. But it is the job of governments to keep God a secret. Oh no, it's a conspiracy and I should hate everyone because of it and be paranoid and led down these false rabbit holes on YouTube because no, 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 no. You see, God is so powerful that in order to hide his presence sufficiently for you to have a chance at free will, governments, institutions, secret societies must ensure that faith is required, that God's existence itself is called into question. Because without that, you don't have the choice. If you know God exists, you don't have free will. Because everything you would do would hinge upon the expectation of judgment. But because you can doubt, because every one of us, even me, can doubt God even exists, we can prove ourselves to God. You understand? That's why the Novo Secura Ordum was established. That's why free religion is established. Because Christians who founded this country actually had faith, unlike you children. And they knew that if they let the huddled masses come here, that their faith would shine as an example to them. And conversion would not even be a question. Conversion would be a given. because they had faith in their ways, in their truths, and in their works. Paper or plastic? Both. But the little pattern that atheists might want to be aware of, that everyone should be aware of, regarding cults, every labeled cult ever has been in opposition to this government. Every cult since what? The 70s, 60s. As long as we've had these cults, you know, every little fake Jesus out today, and there ain't no shortage of them, is against the United States government and spreading, coincidentally, Russian propaganda. Oh. And you see, I don't know how to tell you what verse something's in. But I know the Bible, and if anybody knows the Bible well enough to know what verse something's in, they know when I say something's in the Bible, it's in the Bible. Okay? And in the Bible, it says that in the end times, the non-believers weren't going to be the problem. The people who think they know and think that their faith is superior, the religiously self-righteous, would be the problem. That's what it says. I know this because growing up in Bible studies, I remember being taught about this, and I remember reading about this. And I remember the various different Bible studies groups that I've been in, each one learning about this and saying, oh, not us. We're the true believers. And at the time, I empathized. Wish I still could. But, again, back to the fact of the matter. Not only am I the hair club president, but I'm also a client. I mean, no. Not only is this channel basically the only pro-government channel, the only pro-America channel, okay? You have right-wing people say, we're for America. Left-wing people say, no, we're for America. And then there's little old me saying, you people are all fucking crazy. And I just happen to fucking be forced. I am forced, okay? I don't have free will, okay? I did not choose to think I'm Jesus, okay? Not my style. I really, really, really tried to prove this wrong. I'm this one guy. Just happens to be, and that's the fact of the matter, right and being proven right by reality itself. You got a better theory on what the fuck I am? Who the fuck I am? Feel free. Not a demon. Not Satan. My power can be proven. And it is not of this world. You see my lightning strike videos? I have lightning strike videos that I don't want to post because I think they would interfere with free will. I mean, on this channel, if you're enlightened and open minded enough to perceive it, you can see the end of the world. It sounds like a, and then the video just continues, and I seem to repeat myself, but that's an actual time lapse on camera. I know because I made it happen while I was filming. Um, when the Temple of Heaven, which I don't have my sketchbook with that in it right now, when the Temple of Heaven came, didn't film, didn't want to be disrespectful, and just, well, actually, from the moment I started doing direct confrontation with Lucifer, like Baal, the red one that fell. Yeah. My phone, which I've shown on previous videos, was kind of glitchy. And at that point, we could feel so much energy in the air. I don't think anything was really working properly. And I think it just came down to a joke of like, I'm not filming that. And I think Kira said, it's not like the fucking phones would work anyways. Mm. Mm. That was in 2011. Okay. And I guess since I'm apparently going long on this before I even get to the damn notes, let me just say this. Not a single hurricane has hit the U.S. since 2011, when Kira, who happens to look like, the painting of the Mona Lisa, um, and I found each other. Been looking for her my entire life. Okay? Known her since before I was born. We are the star-crossed lovers. Plain and simple. And I don't know, since I'm doing a whole lot of summing up, basically, I'm John the Baptist, and she is Mary Magdalene. And the false Christ that I prophesied that was immediately to come, okay? Imminent. Immediate, as in shortly to come after. Like, it's like you read English and you don't fucking understand it, I swear to God. He amalgamized these two actual individuals into a caricature with the title Jesus, which is the Gaelic words or phrase for I am, as in the self-sustaining God word in Hebrew. So it's basically Gaelic for Yahweh. And like, okay, people with their Yahusha, Shishashu, and I mean, you know what Yahshua means? It's Joshua. Um, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But basically, I remember what y'all can only speculate on. And I remember a lot of things. I don't make. Let me say this without question. I find this very interesting. In addition to the whole, other people who claim to be Jesus all kind of spread Russian propaganda and don't like the United States government. I I support the United States government, and I don't remember what I'm saying all the time now. See, how do I want to say this? Need a thinking stick and a sip of coffee. That's how I want to say this. Nope, I actually don't remember what the fuck I was going to say. Thought I had it for a second there. It just slipped on by. I don't, and that's it. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be. I don't know what the hell's on my TV screen. No, that's not it. I don't often dust over there. Oh, come on. See, this is what happens when you do unscripted videos. Fucking, and like I can't let it go. I got to be OCD about it. I'm like, no, what the fuck was I gonna say? It might have been important. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm still grinding on it. Just spit it out like I used to play music. Sometimes I'd forget the fucking words to my own songs. Imagine that. Imagine that being playing in front of a crowd of people and just thinking it's gonna happen and the words don't come out. Oh yeah, that's fun. Look like fucking Captain Morgan right now. Holy shit. Holy shit. Trim this back a little bit. You got there with the weed eater. Fall face forward. Yeah. Oh damn! I really it was a fucking interesting point. I think it was an interesting point for all I know. But fucking that unicorn farts. Oh, it was about what I don't remember. I forgot what I don't remember. Did I ever mention or like give the impression that I enjoy inflicting irony upon myself? Yeah, because that's pretty fucking ironic. Okay, so I don't exhibit these stereotypical culty things. Okay, not remotely interested in them. I wanted to restore cars for a living, and my fucking wrists just kind of gave out on me as I was preparing to film a video last year. Now I can't fucking work on cars. So I set up this reef tank because my wife was feeling sorry for me because I had a beautiful, beautiful reef tank back in New Orleans. And I had all my live rock sitting in a 10 gallon in the corner. And it would get topped off about once a month. Yeah, horrible. Because, well, when we moved here, oh, no, I'm not going to forget what I forgot again. I'm getting to that. Okay. When we moved here to slaughter, where it was prophesied that I would lead sheep to. Okay. And that's zip code 70777 in the state that was bought for 42 cents an acre, Louisiana. Okay. See, we were going to move to Gonzales, which is on the other side of Baton Rouge, between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. I'm now north of Baton Rouge, on the opposite side from New Orleans. Okay. We had all our stuff loaded up into a U-Haul. Went there and they wanted an extra deposit on us. We didn't have any damn extra money, and we had a shit full of like all our stuff in one big U-Haul. Okay, we were moved out. We were not going back. Okay, and suddenly we did not have a place to live. So we went to my mama's house, and my mama, fish tank, um, two true perculas, live rock, macroalgae, had light and a filter on it. No reason why everything should just suddenly die, right? You'd think it would last at least as long as it should in shipping, right? My mama poisoned my shit. Yeah, okay. That's what I got to deal with. You got trials and tribulations. Trust me, I have them too. Okay, lots of them. Takes a lot of trials and tribulations to make one become an exorcist when they're 15. That's all I'm saying. So, my mom's friends were asked to keep an eye out for property for rent. And we wound up, and my mom doesn't live in Slaughter. My mom does not live in this zip code. Okay, I was not familiar with this area. Okay. One of my mom's friends saw a for rent site. We called the for rent site. We showed up here, secured the place, and moved the fuck in. Before I was signing the lease, actually, when I discovered the zip code was 70777. And then I realized that it was this place. When we were planning on moving, we were trying to move to Gonzales back when we were still looking for a place. Okay, and we wanted to live in between areas because I wanted to be able to sell cars to both areas. Okay, on the internet, whatever. Well, I just kind of had a little moment of clarity. And I said, "Dear," we were looking at the map, and I pointed this little speck of land above Baton Rouge. I said, "What is that right there? Where is that? What is the name of this place? Right there, where my finger is." Because before she answered, because I get the feeling, no matter what. Oh, all right, morning hiccups. That's uncalled for. Because I get the feeling that no matter what we try, we're gonna wind up there. And sure enough, fucking that sign that my mom's random friend happened to see, happened to get us this place, which is in 70777. It's a very complicated and intricate series of events that, in addition to all the other obvious things, have, you know, been convincing, as it were. But you see, the thing I forgot earlier that I forgot to say that I forgot is I forgot it has not been forgotten. 40, 42. Interesting. Not really. Um, oh, now I'm actually thinking of how I want to say it. Okay, like, I don't remember being crucified. Like, I remember going to be crucified. I remember telling people. I remember the feeling of inevitability and dread. But you see, all these culty people, okay? The reason I said no one's going to come saying, I am Jesus. If they do, they're the false Messiah. Okay? Because the real Messiah would know how to translate the word Jesus, wouldn't he? And he would know his own actual name, not the title, wouldn't he? Oh, oh, and guess what? He'd be able to see all that shit coming. Kind of like I've been seeing all this shit coming for the past year and a half for your viewing pleasure. Okay? Literally, the future has just been laid out for you on this channel, and now it's all coming to fruition. You're seeing that everything that I've said, true, obvious, should have been obvious, but it wasn't. And see, all these guys, they're all guys, right? See, there's like this. There's an actual guy in Central America who says that the real number of God is 666. Oh yeah, and he's got direct Russian support. And there's a guy in actual Russia named Vissarion who's got direct Kremlin support, who's named Vissarion. And all of these guys, they always get asked, do you remember being crucified? And they say, yes, I remember being crucified. And I always think, how do you remember being crucified? How? How do you go through something like that and remember it while you're drugged? Oh, oh yes, I was drugged. My wife, well, to be at that time, wedding interrupted back then, to be resumed. Read the Bible. Was resumed right before Russia invaded Ukraine, right before the Maidan metaphysical metaphor massacre happened. Yes, I was medicated the night before and drugged with a sponge while I was hanging there. So I don't remember much. And, frankly, the more movies that come out about something, the harder it is to fucking remember. But I remember lots of things that nobody can even claim to remember. Things that make sense of everything, including obvious meanings to passages, obvious meanings to what I said 2,000 years ago that are very important that you don't seem to get, even though the enemy I spoke of is staring you in the face. Okay. So, I think my soapbox has collapsed underneath my fat ass. My ass is bony and flat. Okay. Never mind. Um, Too much information? Yeah, I'd say so. Hairy and pimple. Okay. All right. So evolution is racist. 45 minutes into the video has begun. All right. So I'm going to try to keep these short and sweet because I'm going to, have to use the restroom and eat at some point. Like, I'm starved to death making this fucking video here. Like, okay. So evolution is in fact racist. And I hardly even know why this doesn't occur to people. This should be just default obvious knowledge. This is as simple as 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay? And if you disagree with what I'm about to say, I think that you probably wouldn't know that 2 plus 2 is 4 if nobody had fucking told you when you were 12 or so. You see, there's two ideas. There's an idea that all men are created equal. Okay, that's creationism. That's what this country was founded on. And then there's the idea of evolution. And that is that the survival of the fittest, the strongest, survive. Those willing to take what they need survive. Okay? Those who are in a position of dominance are so because they evolved. Okay? This is taught not just to cause a war between atheists and Christians. Okay? You're missing the point entirely if you think that's the case. The point is to make you racist. The point is to make you think that because white people built European civilization, that you're better than black people. The point is to make black people think that because you fucking make all sports teams better, that you're better. Okay. The point is to make all Asian people think that because they're better at math or what, like, it's made to give every person a reason to find that thing to focus on and to stereotype about. Make sense? It's what gives us the sense of competition to begin with. Instead of sitting there just being thankful, being thankful and loving each other as God's children, evolution teaches us to always be mindful of who's superior and who's inferior. You don't have the food that you have to eat because you should thank God for it. No, you have the food that you have to eat because you are a superior form of ape that evolved to, sharpen things, I guess. An ape saw an otter and just like, oh, I can do that. But yeah, I think I've beaten that horse to death well enough. Perhaps if the horse was a little more evolved, it would have survived. Poor horse. Okay, so just going right down the list. There's some really interesting shit here. So if you've made it this long, congratulations. Sorry about the spiel. And then I realized I'm on my cell phone. I can pause this. Okay, I'm gonna be efficient after this. Oh, look at this. Pausing complete. Um, So, on a side note of a side note, if you're speaking, it's not a sidebar because a sidebar is, web programming. Just saying. I guess people who didn't make it as a web programmer like to use the phrase sidebar. Or perhaps they have friends who are much smarter than them. I don't know. Okay. My sidebar, side note, side story, West Side story. No. Well, kind of a West Side story. The only actual verifiable, that is, a repeatable, verifiable proof that I am a spiritual being is in the fact that I pee about 7 times more than I drink. Like, it's amazing how long I gotta stand there and just let the ocean fucking flow. Too much information? No, like, that puts the piss in Poseidon, okay? Poseidon. And, okay, for those of you who have actually done a lot of research, let me just tickle your fancy for a second there. There's a little legend within mythos about the actual spirit of Kronos' father, or possibly Kronos himself. No, it was Kronos' father. Kronos himself just sounds stupid. Um, was reincarnated into Poseidon, and that the creator god preferred to live as a lesser god and was actually cast into the sea when the false former god of war assumed the throne as Zeus. Okay. Well, let me just throw some random little dots out there for you that you might want to connect. Dogon, Anubis, the Angel of the Waters, Yeah, that's good enough. In fact, yeah, connect those dots, you'll have a blast. Anyways, so speaking of connecting dots, back to the notes. I should make a separate video about this. No movement. Hold my hand up. There's big shit. That's why I spirit pressured the camera just now. Because I probably will still make a video about this, a separate video about this. But just because I'm fucking sick of hearing it, I'll go ahead and include it in this one. Vladimir Putin versus Rothschild. Okay. I don't even like. Okay, Rothschild has lost so much interest for me. I don't even remember the first. Was it William Rothschild? Peter? Fucking Steve. Steve Rothschild. Okay. All right. So let's just do a litmus test, okay? Most false conspiracy morons, and that's what they are, they're morons. These people with their fucking thousands and thousands of subscribers and hundreds of thousands of views, they're morons and they're making you stupid. Okay? Period. Sorry. I wish it was different. I really do. I've got better shit to do. Okay? All of these people want you to fixate on this Rothschild conspiracy, okay? And if you don't know what the Rothschild conspiracy is, you can just Wikipedia is. Okay, it'll tell you all about the Rothschild conspiracy because it's a big conspiracy secret that needs to be. These people are really powerful, so you can find them on Wikipedia. Yeah. Um. But basically, a guy had fake war intelligence about was it Waterloo or something? I guess it was Waterloo. Like I said, it's just faded from my mind because it's so useless. Probably never even really happened. Okay, but even if it did happen, assuming that it happened, assuming that these people at some point were evil, were powerful, they're obviously not that powerful anymore, or powerful in any real sense, actually, anymore at all, at all. There's no traceable way to find any fucking power to do with these fucking people. Do you know who the CEO of Google is? Because they're a hell of a lot more powerful, and you don't know their name, do you? No, no, because there isn't a conspiracy video out on Google about that. Oh, morons. Okay, but let's just break this down. Assuming that the Rothschild conspiracy is true, okay, who stole more money? Who stole it in a more ruthless way? Who has done more evil with their money? Um, you see, with the Rothschild conspiracy, you have basically a simple con. The guy lied, took advantage of some investors, and made off with their fucking money. Lots of it, okay? But by no means was this all the money, you know? By no means was this half the money. This was not a large percentage of the money that existed among these people, among this country, among this group of allies, whatever. Okay? Great Britain being one of Russia. So he lied and he stole. Shame on him. Okay? Vladimir Putin faked the Cold War ending. He was in charge of Germany. He was the KGB officer in charge of Germany when they let the wall fall. Okay? So he personally, understand this, faked the ending of the Cold War. Okay? The guy that's in power now in Russia. Okay? After this, and I've just added a video. Let me go down to the bottom of the notes. William Browder, okay, Putin's number one enemy. Okay, maybe I'm number two. Sorry. Yeah, that just happened. I really just did that, and I don't edit shit out. So, okay. So on the need to know information about reality list, which if you haven't checked out, I very much suggest you check out. Um, it's where I post things that actually prove what I'm saying. Okay. Well, what happened was, and I don't think even William Browder is aware of this, but they intentionally devalued the paper monetization, okay, the paper financial net worth of all the individual state run agencies in Russia and opened up Western investment. Okay. So this guy, William Browder, made a crap ton of money. Okay. And basically, via this devaluation, Putin managed to get free intelligence, free training, free technology, and got us to lower our guard, most importantly. All right. Now, you see, the thing is, after this happened, okay, sure, that's all, brilliant war tactics, right? Fine. Okay. It's nothing really even similar to what Rothschild did, is it? Except for the fact that after these companies were brought back up to value, okay, and different Putin assigned different people to be in charge of different sectors of the economy and basically made them CEOs, okay, and they still had a 49% foreign investment, okay, in some cases. But between '05 and '07 was when all this was happening. Um, and you can find the details on the video, okay. Putin got together these oligarchs and said, I will now take half. Half, Eddie! Half! Okay? Half. Gazprom, half. Kalishnikov, half. Sukhoi, half. All of it. Imagine that. If you were an anti-Bush conspiracy theorist, okay? We were freaking out about a few $1 billion, about a few $100 billion even. This man just took by force well over $1 trillion. Okay? He is, without question, without compare, the richest man alive. Period. The most powerful man probably that has ever lived. Get it through your thick fucking skulls already. Half. And we're talking, these individual companies had already gone up in the 500 to $800 billion. Okay? And he just, you give me half or you fucking die. Okay? And you want to tell me about Rothschild? Oh, no, but Rothschild and the royals. Stop being the enemy's bitch or suffer the fucking consequences. Are you slow or something? I don't need to make threats. The threat is there. And I will call forth the armies and nations and kings of the kingdom, singular, of the north, the north, the north. So that, for what reason, you would know what? Huh? That I am who? Yeah. So, I also make the connection between Soviet intelligence. I'm trying to read my notes again. I'll also make the connection on this channel between Soviet intelligence services and the arming of Islamic extremist groups. Um, this cannot be doubted. Okay, and if there was a Saudi connection between if there's a Saudi connection to 9/11, it has to do with Russia's connections to Saudi Arabia, and Russia is very, very connected to Saudi Arabia. It's a lot like Iran, a country in which we very much vie for influence. Okay, and right now we're in a stage of waning influence. Um, and a lot of people would argue with that because basically Saudi Arabia is boosting oil production, okay, which in turn has lowered the value of the ruble, okay, causing this perceived pressure on Putin, okay? Let me tell you something about the Russian economy. It is not a modern economy at all. It is a command economy. Anything you perceive as capitalistic about the Russian economy is merely for show. Okay? They have Solomon's gold. They have always had Solomon's gold. There has always been a stable, consistent, powerful entity controlling all of Greater Mongolia. Okay? As in Russia. As in North China, Tibet, anywhere above the wall, basically. Okay? And I know I'm picturing fucking maps that probably don't even exist anymore when I'm saying these things. But I drew a lot of those maps back in the day, so kiss my ass. Anyways, well, so Saudi Arabia is boosting oil, and that's hurting Russia. Oh no, my ruble's devalued. Yeah. Have you noticed that they don't seem to give a shit? Hmm? Like, okay, to a certain extent, there is a public perception thing, and Putin doesn't like big protests and all, right? Granted. All right. Well, I saw on the YouTube channel The Street, um, and I correlated it with a few credible, just your regular old news services. That the Saudi Arabian Sovereign Wealth Investment Fund, which is a direct investment fund ran by the royal family of Saudi Arabia, as of July 7th, 2015, has promised or had promised $10 billion to help rebuild the Russian economy in 2015 after they've invaded Crimea when they're doing this oil production thing, right? Right. Take that. Lovely. You didn't know about that, did you? Did Alex Jones tell you about? Did did Eric Dubay and all the flat Earth people tell you about that? No, they didn't tell you about that. They don't tell you about any of this shit. Did the UFO people tell you about that? No, they said the little green men were aliens when they're fucking. It's a known. Little green men means people invading your country who won't tell you where they're from. Okay? That's what little green men mean. It means Martians. Because they serve the god of war, who is Mars. You understand? The son of the evil goddess. Y'all forgotten everything. Okay? That's okay, baby birds. I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to teach you, my little baby birds. Just keep on eating them worms. I don't know. All right. So, That page is done. Flipping over the notebook. All right. Business foresight. Yeah. In addition to my little fact of the matter spiel, you know, I went from the computer business, okay, which gives me a lot of insight into just about everything, to a brief career as a business consultant because I knew how things would work out. I kind of have a very extrapolative kind of mind. Okay. But the reason I stopped being a business consultant is because every day that went on, I found out more that I didn't like about these people, and basically, this guy that was actually paying me was one of the people in the countrywide scandal, savings and loan scandal. Yeah. Um, and I actually reported his big new scheme, okay, which was a very, very big scheme. And, well, sorry, but that kind of led to the collapse of the economy. You know, little old me, fucking fuck. But yeah, I just saw it all unfold right after I had sent this report on these people. And you know, I'm not going to give you details on here because I don't know how much they want to keep secret about that. But anyways, when it came time for the Obama campaign to take office, while the economy was collapsing, I had sent them a plan to fix it all, which is now known as the Public Private Investment Program, or the PPIP. And the reason why I know it's my plan is because they used my exact numbers. They used the same percentages that I suggested. I told them they were probably going to have to use them because they were, you know, best. Anyways, huh. I'm on 1 hour of sleep, and all my clownfish babies died. It just was not a good hatch at all. But that's all right. So moving on to that, I'd like to give some spiritual advice. Okay. Yeah, I know. Your mind is a battlefield. Did you know that? Did you know that your mind is a battlefield? You know, like your imagination, your thoughts, your memories, all of it, your dreams, your intentions, your choices. Okay, your choices especially. Every time you make a choice, no matter what mental state you're in, that is a battle. And I had a good example, but apparently I didn't write it down. So understand that your mind is a battlefield. What you need to do is isolate your demons. Okay. And even if you're an atheist and you don't believe in demons, you can do this and you can gain benefit from it. Let me tell you how. You see, stage one is denial. Yeah, I know. And the first step would be realization. But unfortunately, that's the hardest part. Because once you realize the demon's there, you can pray it away, basically. Not like gay. You can't pray away the gay. Yeah. Sorry. It just rhymes and it's catchy, isn't it? It's catchy. Pray away the gay. They should make it into a musical, you know? Something about pray away the gay just makes you want to do jazz hands. Um, moving on. So, how do you recognize demons? Okay. Well, unfortunately, to be able to recognize a demon, you have to prove that it exists. Because if you just think, oh, that might be a demon, you're not going to remember that thought. Why? Because there's a demon. And demons can just take your memories and say, oh, you're not going to have access to that for a while. And the reason why, and this is why this should make sense to atheists, is because a demon, via cause and effect, is essentially an error in program logic. That is to say, the normal manner in which something should be perceived and considered is circumvented via an emotional process. And an illogical thought or conclusion is inserted in its place. Okay? Like, okay. Oh, I think maybe I did write an example down. If I were to tell people, like, hold up a sign or have a bumper sticker that says, "Slow down if you love Jesus." Oh. Now, how many people would think, I don't believe in Jesus, so I don't gotta fucking slow down. Fuck Jesus. Okay? You're demon possessed. Period. Okay? Oh, but no. I'm not demon possessed. It's just because I don't believe in Jesus. Oh, well then, okay, if you don't believe in Jesus, why'd you say fuck Jesus? Huh? Why can't you just be an atheist and not hate God? Oh. Why does Christianity make you angry? That's not logical. See, Jesus, whether you believe in him or not, okay, as a historical figure named Jesus, he's a nice guy. I mean, who can really argue that? He stuck up for poor people and cripples and children who are being kidnapped and enslaved. Oh, wait, no. Y'all forgot about that. Y'all just forgot about that part. Yeah, children who were being kidnapped and enslaved, much like today. But, fuck Jesus. See? I just proved that instead of a logical process, you're having an emotional circumvention of logic. Right? And that's just on the name. Jesus. I'm going to say, slow down if you love Jesus. Oh, well, that's good advice. But you know what? A lot of people will actually see something like that and speed up because their ego is going to tell them, I don't fucking see Jesus. I'm past that person. So I don't have to look at that sign and be reminded of my inequity and guilt and denial anymore. Oh, yeah. Oh, did you not realize that about yourself? I'm sorry. Why not? Okay. So yeah, that's just a good little example. Somebody has a positive message and it angers you because of the context. That's a demon. That is an error, in program logic. And speaking of errors in program logic, political rhetoric. A lot like car sales methodology is designed to triggle. It's designed to triggle. Yeah, baby. And I don't know what that is, but it sounds disgusting. I need to wipe it off. I just triggled on myself. Okay. Fuck was I? The rhetoric of politicians, much like car salesmen, is designed to trigger emotional thought as opposed to rational thought. Okay. And basically, the more a politician tries to speak to your emotions, Donald Trump, and less to your logic and compassion, Hillary Clinton, the more satanic they are. This should be obvious, but propaganda has told you otherwise, right? What does your heart say? Has it been so long since you listened to it? Okay. And speaking of emotional thought, let's talk about a very, very seriously, at least perceived, see why you might feel this way, error, mistake, severe fuck up, perceived on the part of Obama. You see, when he got out there and read the statistics on the percentage of black people shot by police, okay, he said word for word the specifics of what those percentages were. And then he said, not that their feelings are justified, but he said that when you see those statistics, he understands how they can feel that way. Yet everybody wants to jump on him that he's lying. No. He's saying what those black people who are out there attacking police have been fed so that we understand, we understand why they're angry. Okay? That doesn't mean, and he did not give any indication, that there is some absolute truth and legitimacy to those propagandized statistics. And yes, it would have been helpful if he would have, and from some perspectives, it would have been helpful if he had furthered the information by giving more statistics, like overall that recently, in proportion, and the conservative propaganda channels are really not being honest about this either. In proportion to the number of arrests or traffic stops, okay, there's more white people shot than black people, but the overall number is still higher with black people, even though the percentage, when you look at it from one angle, is actually higher for white people. Who cares? Let's talk about the problem. That's just my opinion. Okay, anyway. Because when you focus on statistics, you wind up generalizing. Okay? And when you generalize black people, when you generalize police officers, you incite violence. Okay? And one thing that anti-Obama people need to understand is that first and foremost, Barack Obama was trying to keep the peace. Okay? And when people are in open revolt, to quell their anger, you empathize with them, don't you? Dumbasses? Like, really? Like, if he was a white guy saying the same thing, he'd have just been patronizing. Because he's black, kinda. He's got an agenda? Really? Alright, whatever. Alright, okay, so yeah. The way Obama is constantly accused of this and that, and just, his demeanor from the get-go. Does it remind anybody of Bill Cosby? I've said this before, but just didn't okay, before Obama, when your liberal white guilt was speaking, or if you're a black person watching this, um, if your inner Uncle Tom was speaking, didn't you think before Obama was elected that if only there was a black guy that was enough like Bill Cosby, he could be our first black president? And when you saw Obama, the white people were like, that supported Obama were like, how can you think he's too black? He's like Bill Cosby. Like, okay, is the fucking horse dead? All right. You know what I'm saying, right? But at the same time, this Black Lives Matter movement is coming up. When the Martin Luther King sentiment of personal responsibility and let's fucking get along here is being brushed aside, and all this anti-Obama stuff starts flaring up. Even though he's turned the economy around, they're just not giving up. They're coming out with more and more conspiracies. He's created ISIS. Yeah, Obama created ISIS. Bullshit. Again, ISIS was deployed from Chechnya under the command of Kadyrov. I proved it. It's over with. Okay, this is known to intelligence services. It's just not known to you because you've been brainwashed. All right. Well, these allegations that haven't surfaced in God knows how long against Bill Cosby, right as the Black Lives Matter movement comes out, they resurface. And Bill Cosby, who would otherwise be talking sense and personal responsibility to the African American community, has been completely marginalized and now a tortured soul. I'm gonna have to let him pass on soon because of the cruelty that you insolent little children have put that man through. Why? Because he, like everybody else, was fucking in the 70s? Really? Bitch went to his house. I'm done. All right. So yesterday when I was writing this, I had finally got enough sleep. Right now, I am not feeling that statement. Um, but yeah, the clownfish babies says update right there. Huh? There's nothing to update. I found the remaining two were dead this morning. But as I was doing the rinsing out the baby brine shrimp thing yesterday, I was just kind of randomly saying the word priorities. No idea what. I think there was a funny thought that went with that. No idea where that went. No, I didn't forget it. But priorities. Yeah. What would your priorities be if you realized that you had been misled? What would your priorities be if you realized that the facts were not in your favor? If you had been, say, doing somebody's dirty work for them and then suddenly realized it, what would your new priorities be? I suggest you figure it out and act on them. And yeah, that message is for someone in particular. Some people in particular, in fact. See, and just to be more general about it, to everyone, let's talk about liberalism. See, I used to think, like a lot of liberals still do, that anybody who's against Obama is racist. I never went as far as to say anybody who's Islamophobic is racist, but you know, I used to think that the only reason people would not support Obama because they were racist, because I hadn't gone on YouTube and seen the kind of shit they were fucking feeding people. And what liberals should know is that not everybody who hates Obama is a bad person. They've been told some very bad things about Obama, and if you believe them, you'd think he was fucking evil too. Now, I'm not defending those things. Obviously, I don't think they're true, but while those people need to wake the fuck up, judge not, lest you be judged. Okay? But to that end, if you're a conservative and you are trying to justify Islamophobia, or you think that I'm somehow trying to incite Islamophobia, you are sorely mistaken. Okay? Because the biggest, stupidest error in Islamophobia, in especially like any kind of hate crime or any kind of just so much as being rude to someone who you think is a Muslim. Okay, first of all, they might be a Sikh, and then you're really making an ass of yourself. Okay, because few people have been so tortured and oppressed by the Muslims as the Sikhs. But the fact of the matter is, especially in this country, the person that you are mocking or harming in some way, or just hating, you're tarnishing your own soul, because that person might be an apostate. Well, why are they still dressed like a Muslim? Because they don't want their family and friends to know that they're an apostate, because they don't want someone to fucking hunt them down and kill them in this country. They don't want to be socially excommunicated from the friends and families who might still be Muslims. What's funny about this is that you often have situations in which it takes people years to discover that their friends apostatized. So, two people will be pretending to be Muslims together for years, not realizing that they were both Christians for the past decade. Oh yes, this happens a lot. All the while, you're sitting there being Islamophobic against Arab Americans. They escaped. We should give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, when you're talking about these fucking street preachers, these hate mongers, fuck those people. Salafists, fuck Salafists. Okay? But when you just see somebody, oh, it's a Muslim, he must have that secret agenda. No. Unfortunately, the Salafists rely on people like that and rely on your hatred of them for their tactical plans. Okay? They want you to hate them so that they can say, oh, see, I told you they hated you. Yeah. And this is why y'all misconstrue Obama logic when it's just smarter than you. Okay? It's informed by intelligence services. Period. All right. So yeah. Anyways. Sorry, I'm trying to read my handwriting again. So I was trying to figure out Robin Hood. See, I from a very young age, I was made to watch or like to watch one of the two, the Disney version of Robin Hood. Okay, um, and the natural human male urge is to insert himself as Robin Hood into that story. And while that seems like something I'd do, and while I am in many places, hidden in many stories, I don't think so. I think that it's actually a, and here comes some high quality crazy talk for you. It's actually a cover story for something else entirely that happened during the Crusades. And I think I might have been Prince John. I know, I know. But John. And, the muses know best. Okay, and they like to display their wisdom in comedy. And remember, okay, well, first of all, I'm pretty sure meningitis came from the word meningitis, which was a disease that soldiers would bring home. Okay, so meningitis. That's fucking hilarious. Um, but on meningitis, when Captain Picard comes and kisses the bride and whatever, he says that he's naming all the toilets after John, right? All toilets will be named John. Okay. In case you're not already laughing because you've tied this into and you know what I'm about to say, Poseidon. I am the porcelain god. I'm the guy who you promise you're never going to drink again, too. Angel of the swirling waters. Oh, okay. You got how many different movies that I've wanted to come out and be remade? You got Ben Hur, Ghostbusters, fucking Warcraft movie. You got Independence Day. Um, yeah, I get my way a lot. Before I woke up, I never got my way. Never. In fact, before 2011, when I found my wife, it was pretty much a given that if I wanted something to happen, it would all go horribly wrong, no matter what. If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have had no luck at all. But yeah, lots of fun things have happened since 2011, and they're all kind of pointing away from this channel. Yeah. And, I'm going to pause it again because Poseidon. I almost forgot what I was doing and started feeding the fish, which I need to get to here shortly. Okay. So, yeah, the porcelain god. And it is in fact the porcelain god who invented the phrase full of shit. Yes, it's in the Bible. Yes, read the Bible. Read the Bible. What enters through your mouth passes through your body. It comes out your booty hole. But what leaves from out of your mouth can be equally as vile. Because of what's built up inside you, thus implying that someone who tells lies is full of shit. Yes? Yes. Okay. Now, speaking of full of shit, let's talk about TP. Toilet paper? No. Trump Pence. TP. Yes. Couldn't be any more full of shit than this guy. So he implies, I'm sure you've seen this, basically saying post-election that the Second Amendment people could still, post-election, after Supreme Court appointees are made, or post-election before appointees are made, to stop her from making Supreme Court nominations. The Second Amendment people, i.e., gun holders, okay, people with guns can stop her if she gets elected. People with guns can stop her post-election. That is calling for the assassination of a sitting commander-in-chief, okay? And Donald Trump should be fucking arrested for that. Don't let him weasel his way out of this shit. Frankly, I have more respect for the Republican Party than to see Donald Trump as their nominee. This, oh my God, if this was all like Hillary's plan, bravo, but it's gone far enough. Let's let honor take over here, and let's get rid of this traitor who spreads Kremlin propaganda on a constant basis, including today, in which he stated that Obama founded ISIS. By deploying it from Russia. Okay. I've said on this video before, and this without a shadow of a doubt proves it. Okay. Kadyrov, and this was documented, Kadyrov had rallied 20,000 Muslim militiamen in uniforms with equipment and everything, vests, RPGs, the works, okay, in Chechnya, about 100 miles north of Mosul, okay. MH17 got shot down over Ukraine by Russian-backed separatists using a Russian-supplied, Russian-manned Buk missile launcher, okay, which was videotaped going into Russia with all of its missiles. The plane was shot down, and then it was videotaped leaving Russia, minus a missile. And this was the only missile in theater that could have shot down this plane, other than American missiles. Because we would have fucking shot down a plane. Please. Well, right after MH17 got shot down. 2 weeks after Kadyrov rallied these troops, saying that he was going to send them to Ukraine, Mosul fell. ISIS suddenly was no longer a varsity team. That's what happened. You're going to blame Obama for saying it's a varsity team? You're doing Putin a favor. Understand that. Understand that insulting our commander-in-chief that way makes you a traitor. Free speech and all that, right? But you're spreading a lie because you're being deceived by foreign intelligence agents. So what other definition can apply to what you're doing? The fact of the matter is, Putin, who had supplied Assad and the former Ba'athist regime through Assad with everything they needed to do all the terrorist bombings that we saw during the 2005-2007 years. Okay, that was all from Russia without love through Assad. Okay? But then, right after MH17 went down, suddenly Mosul fell. Let's give them something to talk about. So, yeah. And then you got on the other side the Bernie people and the Black Lives people. And you really have to be in denial. You have to think that the Cold War ended. Okay? You have to think that America has no equal, has no enemy, in order to think that the Marxist agenda laid out by Bernie Sanders is a good idea. And you'd really have to be just even more foolish than that to not understand how the Marxist agenda laid out in the Black Lives Matter demands list could lead to complete foreign control of our government. Okay? It's really just that simple. They basically have a completely Marxist plan which establishes communism. And every little thing about it, every little detail about it, you can link each one of those things and see, just like one of Donald Trump's speeches, why Russia would want that. Why Putin, the man of sin, the richest man in the world, okay, would want that. And since I've almost gone to 2 hours, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I think I'm running out of notes. No, one little interesting fact, right quick. In addition to the Chechen Islamic forces and the Kazakhstani and Uzbek and various other Islamic satellite state armies, Russia, the military of Russia, first, the population of Russia is 1 out of 5 is a Muslim. That's fine. Nothing suspicious on the surface about that, except for when you take into effect what Russia presents to the people who they propagandize in Europe as they're the protectors of white people. Oh, Donald Trump, did you know that 1 out of 5 people in Russia was a Muslim? Well, then you definitely didn't know this other little fact, which is that 2 out of 5 members of the Russian military is a Muslim. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being a modern, secular, not literalist Muslim. Okay? You're in a position to be used by some very evil people, but there's definitely nothing wrong with being a Muslim. However, when you have 1 out of 5 people, and then 2 out of 5 soldiers, what you have is, at the very least, an interesting enough situation to indicate that everything I've been saying is not only 100% accurate, but that this information is as important as it gets. And the difference between knowing this information and avoiding it because of your emotional thoughts is the difference between awareness and usefulness to society, being of benefit to humanity, or being a clueless moron who deserves the imminent self-destruction which you are assisting to combat. I'm not trying to insult anyone, but you need to understand that the difference between, there's 3 types of people in this world, okay? There's intelligence services, okay? There's members of the CIA and KGB and the Interpol and shit like that. There's my subscribers, and then there's morons. That's it. Okay? There are people in this world who know the logistics of what I'm telling you, the intelligence of what I'm telling you on this channel. Okay? There are people like William Browder and there's a lot of very intelligent people who can educate you in much more simpler terms about the details of all this. But there's no one connecting it without using whatever information they slowly feed you just to divide you even more against each other. So again, there's my subscribers, there's intelligence services, and then there's idiots. There's the ignorant. There's zombies. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, just being objective about this. If you know of another pro-America channel that isn't a right-wing or a left-wing channel, oh, let me know. By all means. But if you've watched this whole video, thank you very much, and I hope you found it informative and stimulating. And please click the thumbs up to help me rate this video positively so that it doesn't get shunned by the YouTube AI, which apparently this is how the YouTube AI shuns things. And subscribe if you haven't already, and you don't want to be an idiot. Yeah, that's all. Peace.